Hi, everybody. How are you doing? I hope you're doing all right. And I tell you what, I'm doing all right myself. Glad to be with all of you once again. I really am. And if I may, I would like to take this opportunity to say thank you very much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And I would like to welcome each and every one of you to another episode of TJ's Topics. That's right. And I happen to be TJ, by the way. It is such a pleasure to be with you again. I consider it a joy, an honor, and a privilege to be able to come into your presence on any given occasion. Now, today I have a topic that I would like to share with you. And I'm going to tell you that if you have haters out there, then you will definitely know what I'm talking about. This will resonate with you. Every time they hate, my numbers inflate. I know it sounds a little corny, but it's the truth. Every time they hate, my numbers inflate. Now, you may be wondering, where in the world did he get that from? Well, I'm going to tell you exactly how I came to this conclusion. You see, last year in March, I posted a video. It was one of those little short reels on YouTube. Actually, I posted it on multiple platforms, several different social media platforms that I'm affiliated with, where I was talking about how Joel Osteen's church is getting empty. Matter of fact, that's the title of it if you want to watch it. And I'm going to try to post it in the comment section where you can go and click on the link and you can watch it for yourself. Joel Osteen's church is getting empty. And though it didn't do all that well on most of my platforms at the time, it did do quite well on TikTok. Matter of fact, I amassed somewhere over 141,000 views on TikTok last year when I posted it. And so, and I thought it was over with. It didn't do too well on all my other platforms, but I didn't care. It was just something I wanted to share with the public. Well, fast forward to December, which was just a month ago, last month. And how about that video that I posted almost a year ago, last March, resurfaced? And this time it came back with a vengeance. I mean, the video has gotten hundreds of thousands of views on YouTube. Man, I tell you, I was just totally amazed. But get this, in the midst of having gotten all these hundreds of thousands of views by people around the world, mainly here in the United States, but in other countries as well, I had a number of haters to come on there. And they came on there talking about you ought not be saying things like that about the man of God. You shouldn't be talking down about a preacher, somebody who's preaching the gospel. But now the question I have is Joel Osteen preaching the gospel? That's what I want to ask you. Now, I used to watch Joel Osteen all the time years ago. I was a faithful viewer of his for many years. And I was fascinated with the size of his church, because they got the old Compact Center where the Houston Rockets used to play. And I was just amazed at how they took that old arena where they played basketball and stuff and developed it into the largest mega church in the country. where they had over 50,000 people attending service on a weekly basis. I tell you, I was just, whoo, that really took me by surprise. But then one Sunday morning in March of last year, I just happened to be watching them. I was getting ready for church myself, and I had the television on the channel that they come on Sunday mornings on CBS, the Memphis affiliate, which is WREG Channel 3. And while I was watching him, I noticed something that just totally threw me for a loop. I saw, when the camera panned out across the sanctuary, because most of the time they keep the camera focused squarely on Joel while he's preaching. But they took a second and they panned out across the sanctuary and showed a whole bunch of empty seats in there. And I just couldn't believe it. I said, you mean to tell me his church is that empty? Man, I was surprised by that. And so I decided to make a video on it. And I posted it. Well, at that time, it didn't garner too many views, just a handful, but it did do quite well on TikTok with over 140,000. But at Christmas time, this past Christmas, oh my God, man, that video came back again. And let me tell you how it benefited me, because whereas I only had like a few hundred subscribers on my YouTube channel, today I have well over 1,000 subscribers, heading towards 2,000, and hundreds of thousands of views on that little video, which wasn't anything grand or spectacular. It was just a plain old video I made, nothing professional about it, and no big old graphics or no special effects or anything. But I tell you, I had haters coming out the woods, coming to criticize me about that. And they were hating on me left and right, saying this and saying that. And I had to get on to some of them, telling them that, I'm not your son. You are not my mama or my daddy. Therefore, you don't have any right to come on here talking to me like you are, because you don't know me from Adam. And I said some other things too, which I won't say on here. But so tell me this, if you are a visible individual on social media, whatever platform you're most affiliated with, that appear on most of the time, and you have posted a video or two and got a lot of views, perhaps it went viral like mine's did. Have you ever had any haters to come at you? I mean, people you've never seen in your life, don't know you from from a hole in the ground, and they want to come to you trying to tell you what you ought not be posting and what you ought not be saying. Have y'all ever encountered individuals like that? Because if you have, do you know exactly what I'm talking about? Well, I've had more than my share of those type of people coming on my platforms to tell me this and tell me that. And I just simply tell them they can go ahead on, And if they're not careful, I tell them what they can kiss. So anyway, this concludes this discussion for today. Every time they hate, my numbers inflate. And my subscriber list has definitely grown as a result of my haters. And my influence has increased as well. And I'm very grateful for that. And I hope your influence and your numbers will start to increase as time goes on. So I want to thank you very much for tuning in today to this episode of TJ's Topics. I really do appreciate it. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and share with whoever you wish. And I look forward to seeing you again soon, okay? This is Taryn Jerome Harris, reminding you that every round goes higher and higher. I'll talk to you later. Bye bye.